This video was produced from the organization of 8 slides that will be presented. We will read what is written and describe the images, as well as translate the written text into sign language. First slide. In capital letters, centered in black, it says, Global Report organized by World Federation of the Deafblind, WFDB, and Sense International, SY. A line below, centered in black, it says, At risk of exclusion from implementation of the CDPD, Convenção dos Direitos das Pessoas com Deficiência, and ODS, Objetivos de Desenvolvimento Sustentável. On the next line, with uppercase letters in red, it says, People with deafblindness and poverty. Second slide. On the top left corner, in black, centered, it says, Households that include people with deafblindness are more likely to be below 40% in terms of socioeconomic status compared to households with non-disabled members. Below, you'll find two color photographs. The one on the left, the background is brown and you can see a mug lying on the floor with some coins coming out of it. The other one, on the right, the background is a small brick wall and in front, on the left, you can see a hand holding a ladle, serving a plate held by two other hands. The three lines below, in red, centered, it says, The differences were statistically significant after adjusting the family characteristics, for example, size, construction time, structure, and location in all countries. Third slide. On the top left, in red, centered, it says, People with deafblindness are more likely to be poor in many countries compared to people with other disabilities and without disabilities. Below, a graph is shown. Vertically is written prevalence and numbers in percentage, 0%, 10%, up to 70%. The horizontal line contains the names of 11 countries that presented data: Sudan, Mexico, Ireland, USA, Indonesia, Ghana, Vietnam, Uruguay, Tanzania, South Africa, and Brazil. We highlight data from Brazil which show that people with deafblindness are just over 50% likely to be poorer, people with other disabilities just over 40%, and people without disabilities almost 40%. USA data show that people with deafblindness are just over 55% likely to be poorer, people with other disabilities are just over 45%, and people without disabilities 35%. Fourth slide. On the upper left corner, in red, centered, it says, Poverty is more common in households with young deafblind members. Below, a graph is shown. Vertically is written prevalence and numbers in percentage, 0%, 10%, up to 70%. The horizontal line contains the names of 11 countries that submitted data: Sudan, Mexico, Ireland, USA, Indonesia, Ghana, Vietnam, Uruguay, Tanzania, South Africa, and Brazil. We highlight data from Brazil which show that poverty in people under 50 and over 50 is 50%. US data show that poverty in people under 50 is 60% and over 50 is 55%. Fifth slide. In the upper left, you find a color image of several people, but it is not possible to see their faces clearly, as they are dummies. They are inside colored circles interconnected by colored lines, demonstrating connections among them. On the right side, in black, centered, it says, WFDB members reported that when programs exist to support people with disabilities, they benefit. Two lines below, in red, centered, it says, as a result of limited service offerings and low social benefits, People with deafblindness are unable to obtain the necessary support. Sixth slide. On the top left corner, in red centered, it says, in addition, most social assistance and/or disability benefits are conditioned to be labeled as unable to work or an income limit. On the right, you find a color image of a money bag in yellow and the dollar sign in green on it. Next to it, you see the representation of 2 coins also in yellow color, and behind the bag, you find an orange line that crosses the space with an arrow on its top end. 3 lines below, in black centered, it says, thus, a person with deafblindness looking for a job will not receive financial support to pay for transportation or extra for their accommodations, factors that employers will rarely pay if this happens. Seventh slide. On the top left, in red centered, it says, an innovative study carried out in South Africa on the extra costs of disability, in parentheses, DSD, 2014, illustrated the impact of the cost of disability on people with deafblindness and their families. Just below, on the right, you find a color image of an electronic magnifying glass. You can see the front part of the magnifying glass, which is red, with the up and down buttons on the left side in blue, and the switch on button in yellow right up. On the right side, you see a plus sign button and a minus sign button in yellow. Below in black, it says electronic magnifier. 3 lines below, on the left, in black, centered, it says, the costs of assistive devices to enable communication, for example, are more expensive for people with deafblindness. On the right is written in black, Braille display. Below, you find a color photograph of a Braille display. You can see a finger running over the dots that go up while reading something. It is black at the top. It contains 6 blue buttons that represent the points of the Braille cell. Eighth slide. At the top, in red centered, it says Credits. Right below, in black centered, it says Created and edited by Fernanda Falkowski. Audio description is script by Fernanda Falkowski. Portuguese translation by Shirley Maia. Portuguese narration by Fernanda Falkowski. Spanish narration by Jimena Serpa. English translation by Sandrine Ren. English narration by Sandrine Ren. Sign language translation by Renan Antonello.